So we're gonna have our little session 0 while your characters are slumbering away your beautiful little heads after a rough and tumble night at the reenactment festival. Um, Before we can get into all of that, we have to talk about boring stuff, some clarifications for the game, and pet peeves. And this is probably not what everyone is here for immediately, but it's an important step of playing the game. Sound good?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. First off, I think we should. Though we just did it for each other, we definitely didn't do it. We all knew what our characters' names and pronunciations would be. I'm gonna probably get you guys each to be ready with a little introduction to your characters. And this will come after the session 0. So if you want to just have something ready, or I'm warning you that something will come up, that will happen. So if while you're listening you need something else to do, that's probably a good idea to work into. Nonetheless, first things first, Season of Ghosts, of course, is going to be a Pathfinder 2nd Edition game. We are using only the remaster rules, including the errata that death affects, or at least the wounded condition, and the errata that made death not as bad. Though, I still commend you guys for being super willing to try that super death mode in the first place. But one thing we didn't exactly settle on was if we wanted to do XP or milestones. I know, Remy, you brought up how burns out you were on milestones. But I wasn't sure if we had fully settled into milestone leveling yet. This is your time to plead your case.
I'm personally in favor of milestone, but I have no problem doing XP.
In the same boat. Prefer milestone, but no problem doing XP.
Does anyone else prefer XP? All right, we're doing milestone. I think that's it.
Sounds good, Remy. I appreciate you relenting.
Yeah,
Second,
I wasn't too married to it. That's all right.
To the next point, is anyone here wanting to do 3-hour, 3.5-hour sessions or 4-hour sessions for the future? I know that some people have brought up 3 hours. Most people want 4 hours, but we can relent and do 3.5 hours. Either way works for me. I'll just kind of go down the list so that we're not barking over each other here. Darby, are you down for 4, 3, 3.5?
I would vote 4.
Okay, Don.
I'm for 4.
Cool. Juanito.
No preference, but 4 is fine, 3 is fine, whatever.
All right, and Remy, I know you want 4. You made yourself vocal.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pro 4.
All right. It sounds like a vast majority wants 4. We're gonna do 4. I'm sure that's nobody's problem, no one's issue. I just wanted to throw that out there. All right. Let's jump into some behaviorals. Because we are playing a horror game. This will be, while on the flip side of the same coin, comedy and horror, this one's definitely vastly more a horror and disturbing campaign. Things will happen, things will try to unsettle you, and there will be times of levity, and there will be comedy baked into the adventure. But it is more of a Midsummer than it is an It, if you know the difference. Nonetheless, I expect everyone to be conscious and aware during the sessions. If you want to partake in some drink, you're more than welcome to, as long as it doesn't become disruptive. For attention-wise, attention's quite important because I might drop whispers. I might drop... what I mean by whispers is I might put projections onto your screen alone, such as handouts, art, or words, that only your character might hear or see. So while I'm aware that you'll have multiple tabs open, or 2 monitors because it's 2023, I expect attention for the vast majority of this session. My only issue arises whenever someone requires me to reiterate myself multiple times or is clearly not paying attention throughout multiple sessions. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Perfect. As for disruptive topics, I kind of have a hard set rule for this game in particular that as soon as we're in session, we try to keep all real life topics away from the table as far as possible. Anything between, not necessarily all memes, but memes in general. Religion, because Pathfinder gets into religion pretty hard. And, politics, and considering politics are a major portion of this campaign, that also brings into some parallels. But keeping them in universe is going to be the most important thing here. And it's also important to remember that you guys are playing in a century in the past age from the rest of the Pathfinder universe. So, keep that in mind. Let's see. Dice rolls against one another. This is an important one because things like coerce, request, and intimidation exist in the game. How do you guys feel about having it used against you by fellow players? This includes enchantments in general. Do you want me to use my typical ruling, whereas if a player is using something against you, you have control over how it goes, but you're welcome to ask for a roll to influence that? For example, if someone rolls an attack against you, maybe through sibling rivalry, the sibling who's being attacked gets to choose what happens with the attack, and then can reciprocate. It's like a ball being passed back and forth for narrative.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
Yeah, that seems good to me.
Yeah,
That's
that
good.
works.
Awesome. For that reference, though, do you want me to be able to roll persuasion checks or diplomacy checks against you all?
I would like it when you roll, like, if you were to roll a diplomacy check, just to like help me roleplay how I'm gonna respond, as long as you never take my agency away, unless I'm
Absolutely.
dominated.
And
Then tell me to kill everybody, and I will do it.
on that note, is there anyone at the table that cannot do being enchanted? We can work around it. I've done so in the past. But having your agency completely taken away, or at the very least having your sheet taken away, is there anyone that can't have that, or that's a hard stop for them? More in particular, if you don't feel like you can control yourself or sway yourself towards actually doing what the enchantment says, would you rather just me control your character? If anybody wants that, now is the time to speak up.
I guess it depends what it's enchanted for when it comes to taking control of the character. Like, if you tell me to kill the party, that's it. I'm good. I can do that. But if it's like other stuff that is more privy to DM, I'm okay with you doing it.
Very well. I will try to keep it combat-based then. Perfect. Your guys' expectations here. Now, there are many things in Willow Shore that are hidden, lost, knowledge based on the strange hidden happenings that are going around. And already some of your characters know things the others don't. How do you guys feel, however, about those things coming up during the session? Do you like it when other players know knowledge you don't? Or more importantly, do you really not like it when characters figure out knowledge about the plot, but they hold it from the rest of the party?
I don't mind particularly.
Yeah.
Any knowledge the player gets is privy to him, how he or she wants to use it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat where, like, if somebody knows something and they're like, okay, I don't know if I want to tell the group yet, and in character they know something and they're not sure if they want to tell the group yet. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, like for example, if I were to like learn something that, like, say the party could take an action, but that would be that me pushing the party to take that action would be against my character's beliefs, I would not do that. I would just not tell people, right? Like,
yeah, no, I agree. I'm in the same boat.
All right, perfect. I know people have been burnt off of that before, so always something I like to bring up. All right. And lastly, around our expectations and whatnot, I'm just going to bring up balance and what you guys are here for. I understand that you guys come from many walks of Dungeons and Dragons and TTRPGs, but This here will be a very heavy narrative and horror game. You guys have been told that a dozen and 1,000 times. I'm sure I don't need to say it again. But having, whimsical chaos time will be here. But it will not be as open and ready and available as probably any other campaign you have played. As I said, it's less of a thriller and more of a disturbing atmosphere. Now, you can very easily just inject that chaos into the game, inject that levity. For comedy and horror are two sides of the same coin, but you will take away one if you bring out the other. They can't really coexist at any given time, though they're very important to have. So I just want to make sure, one last time, that you're here for a horror experience, but also for fun times in a small town. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. That being said, for balance and fairness, this game will not be an Abomination Vaults. This game will not be the deadliest of games you've ever played in. You will be scared of some of these creatures you will come across in more ways than one, and you might find yourself stifled in how to defeat them, and some of them might even just be as deadly as things in Abomination Vaults. But sometimes, winning isn't necessarily beating it in combat, is it? I think we all know that.
Get them recall knowledge checks ready.
That's right.
Who's played Abomination Vaults? I don't even. Why does that keep coming up?
No idea.
Perfect. For the rest of the stuff that I usually have, you guys have all played together before, so I will not bring them up. I'm sure you guys know not to turn on each other's backs, being lone wolves to each other, all that good stuff. That being said, because you guys are more experienced players, it was something I was looking for. For I offer you narrative authority in this game. In that way, I more mean connections you might have had with people in Willowshore. It is a small town of just 200 or so. Perhaps you knew things that weren't in the player's guide. Perhaps you've had more connections that we've talked about in private. You can just bring up situations that you've had with other players. I want you guys to have some authority over your living, breathing residents of Willowshore. And to that end, I will give you the most control when you're around your homes and families. Sound good?
That's good. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Absences. We talked about this. We have an extra 5th player rather than the 4 that usually go by on adventure paths. That will help us in case we have anybody MIA. Considering this is a Saturday night game, they may happen sometimes. So, how many is our minimum play? And if someone's missing, do you guys wish to zombie them? Or do you wish to have them missing?
I mean, I think 4 is a good minimum. I don't think going lower than 4 is a good idea.
Yeah, I'm in that boat. I wouldn't want to
Yep.
play with 2 people missing. And whether we zombie or if they go missing, are you gonna like scale the encounters appropriately or?
Of course.
Okay. Then I'm indifferent. I'm fine with zombieing or someone playing them or they just not being there.
I think if I'm ever absent, I would probably like maybe ask if anybody wants to play my character for me while I'm gone. And if no one wants to do that, I'm okay with being zombied. But it really depends on like what situation we're in this,
Yeah.
when the person leaves.
Downtime is different than being in the middle of a dungeon.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And these
But yeah,
are
but
Pathfinder characters, so they're kind of hard to puppet around if you don't
Yeah.
spend time with their sheets.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that bad. I mean, most characters do the same thing pretty much.
Yeah, you can figure it out after a while. It's just like I think the higher level we get, it's going to be a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Okay, we'll keep it by case basis. That's no problem. All right. This is time to bring up some burns, some scars of TTRPG playing. We've all built up some pet peeves. Who wants to go first? I'm down to go first if you guys want.
Sure.
All
Yeah,
right.
sure, yeah.
Lead the way.
Some casual things that I do not enjoy as a game master, or that rub me the wrong way and just kind of keep me, shall we say, second guessing myself or not having fun. For one, I believe that no D&D is better, or I guess no TTRPG is better than bad TTRPG. If I don't feel like something is jiving, or if we continue on and we're just kind of dragging it out, I will probably be the first one to voice it because I am the arbiter of the story, and we all need to be having fun here at the table. Or if I feel as though there are multiple players not having fun, I might be the first person to ask if you guys would like to just swap paths if it's becoming too much of a slog. A more concrete thing, though, is being asked to repeat myself. Now, I don't mean that in the way of, oh, I just didn't hear you. It's more of, I say something prompting a character, and that character very clearly wasn't listening. It happens more often than you think, but I would never fault someone for an impairment. My last pet peeve.
I guess now, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Now's a good time to, before you say your last pet peeve is being interrupted. I have like mild tinnitus from my time on the ship. So like I'm like kind of hard of hearing sometimes. So
Totally no
if I
problem.
ask you to repeat yourself, that's probably why.
No worries. It's not a way of impairment or, you want me to specify something that came through. It's more very clearly you've either stepped away or it happens multiple times in a player retention kind of thing. My last pet peeve is whenever I finish a description or I finish a narration and give you guys the baton to continue roleplay or continue the campaign, and nobody steps forward for a good 20 seconds. It's probably the worst pet peeve that I have. It makes me feel like I'm doing my job wrong. I understand you guys don't want to step over each other's shoes or feel like you're spotlight hogging, but nobody being in the spotlight is worse than everyone being in the spotlight. Who wants to go next?
Oh no, the spotlight. I can go next.
Are we streaming?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Can we mute the stream for mine?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, do you want to go? Do you want to go first for me so we can get that out of the way?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, I will
alright.
mute the stream. See everyone back in a bit. Go for it. All right, who is next?
I'll go next. Mine will be really really quick.
Perfect.
Don't chew into your microphone, and we'll be set.
How dare you?
No, I promise this isn't about last night. I promise. Just like if we're in the middle of a game, just don't just remember to mute yourself if you gotta eat.
I agree. Does that mean that I cannot do characters that are being gluttonous?
No. That's fine.
If it's like a
That's fine.
character voice,
No.
if character
Okay,
option.
that's okay.
Do you mind the
Yeah.
mimicry of chewing?
That's okay. No, yes, that's okay. That's fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
let me do. I'm just clarifying.
No, I got you. Thank you.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Oh, that's an easy one. Dom, you want to go?
I don't think.
If you've got no problems, you've got no problems.
Yeah, I guess if something comes up, I'll let people know. But for right now, I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Perfect. Darby.
Probably choice paralysis.
Mm.
It happens sometimes. Sometimes it's just better to have a bad decision than dabble about it for minutes on end.
Good call. So you might eventually kind of snap and tell the party direction, or would you be just rather avoiding that spiral altogether?
If it happens time to time, it's no issue. It's just when it reoccurringly happens.
Awesome.
It's usually not an issue.
Okay, no worries. Thanks for bringing it up. And lastly, Juanito, what do you think?
I got a couple. If you guys don't notice, I do mute myself when I'm not talking, just because a little bit of background noise is very distracting to me. I realize not everybody has that ability, and that's okay. But I tend to kind of like focus on typing in the background and when the GM's talking, and it's difficult for me. The other thing it's really kind of a question more than a pet peeve, is like meta knowledge. Darby brought up analysis paralysis, and I don't really suffer from it, but I will ask if I do like genuinely don't know what to do. I'll probably go, "Hey guys, I need advice." How do you guys feel about that?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be happy to give you advice.
I think coming up like above the table to talk is okay, especially if it's a choice that's going to affect a lot of things.
It'll probably be like combat stuff, and that would just be because there's a lot of different things you can do here. And
Exactly.
sometimes I will look at it and go, I don't know what the best play is if it's not very obvious to me, or I don't know what my character would do, and so then I would go, "Hey guys, what do you suggest?" That would be like something that might happen. Not going to say it's going to happen all the time, but it could happen.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's it.
Excellent. Thank you all for airing out your pet peeves so that we can all avoid them. All right. I will kind of like say I've gone through everyone's safety and consent checklist. The only things that I will note on it for the kind of like, I would say, deeper or darker things to avoid or do is simply that the vast majority of us rated for this game to be R-rated, not NC-17. So, just about everything is on the table, save what I have brought up before. And you shouldn't have any issues. All romance will fade to black if it gets too deep. But it looks like, nonetheless, between NPCs, everything is fine. If you wish to romance another player, reach out to them in private beforehand. Sound good?
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Other than that, it looks like we are A-okay on everything else.
You guys don't gotta worry. I'm not playing Halson.
I'm not playing Gale either.
Dude, Halson always try to beg.
Yeah, he did.
We've gone through all of our character creation stuff already. Everyone is already finished. But our optional rules that we're doing for this game is the ability score gradual increase, free archetype. And oh goodness, there was one last one, was it? Was there one last
Voluntary flaws.
Voluntary flaws, that was it.
I think I'm the only one who did that one. That's the power gamers.
All right.
I actually had one more question.
Oh.
I'm super sorry. I should have remembered this. Did you and Darby have a chance to talk about the spell options that we talked about?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
He said, I want nothing.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to ask.
Nothing to do with you.
I'm gonna go with the spell then that we thought worked best, which was the cycle of retribution.
Perfect.
I'm gonna take that one then.
Sounds good to
This
me.
is some homebrew shit?
No, so I wouldn't recommend looking it up. There is player options that came from Season of Ghosts that fit their character that I allowed them to access early rather than it being found out in the game.
Okay.
So
I got my eyes on you.
Yeah, I will actually bring that up right now. I brought this up to Muffin. Archives of Nethys and the compendiums are not your friend. There are some things in this campaign that are actually just straight up as items or spells named spoilers. I don't know why they did it, but they surely did it. Keep to your own lookups. Keep to common when you search up anything. And try to stay away from literally anything that you shouldn't be looking too deep into. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
We all know
So-
that you could just look it up, but don't.
So
What's
on
up?
that topic of speaking to common, like one of the ways to access uncommon and rare spells is like research and downtime. Is that something we're gonna have access to?
Potentially, yes.
Okay. So I want
Just
Scorching Ray, damn it.
They-
But yeah.
If that's what you have in mind, then I wouldn't look up anything other than Scorching Ray. But I can always sit down and advise you on some too.
Okay. I mean, when I search for stuff on Archives of Memphis, I have it remove all of the campaign spoilers.
Excellent. Perfect. All right. Let's see. Campaign length. Out of game knowledge, this game should take us about a year, but it is entirely controlled by your pacing because it's a very downtime heavy, roleplay heavy campaign. If you guys are speedrun it, I'd say it's just a year. Anything longer is based off of your guys' momentum. On top of that, the game itself is loosely based off the seasons. We've talked about this with the pacing of the Kisho Tenketsu. This is not written like a Western style media, which is very, very cool. Reputation will be important in this game, so if you want to keep track of it, you can. I will also be keeping track of it. And beyond that, we have a mount. Is there anything that we should know about the mount rules, or is he not big enough to be a mount now, right?
He's not gonna be big enough to level 4.
All right. But you get, well,
Unless,
you have another
unless
form,
someone is small.
which you can be.
Yeah, but am I gonna? I guess I could try to do a fox around his back. This is
Mhm.
cute, actually.
That is super, super cute.
Yeah, he's got the mount trait, so
Perfect.
we'll figure it out as we go. I've never mounted anything in Pathfinder before. It'll happen soon.
Let's see. Remember that you can sell things on casual markets if there's no issues for 50% of their price. That's basically where you go from, and haggling will go up or down in either direction. Let's see. I think that's just about everything. Do your best to avoid dying in this campaign, hey? Just a pro tip.
Oh, we'll try. I mean, do our best.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I suppose I should bring that up, though. If you do die, would you like me to... Well, it'll be up to you, but there might be potential abilities to keep your characters back in the loop. Just like... There is a Pharasma Cathedral in town. So, just keep that in mind. Death might not be exactly the end for your character. One way or another.
Spooky.
I know. All right.
Do they have beetle services at the Temple of Pharasma?
No.
Oh my god, protect beetle at all costs.
They have
Yeah.
a veterinarian
Yeah,
in
they have a
town,
vet.
though.
There is 2 vets, I believe, in town.
Yeah.
There is also a stables. All right. I think we're relatively good. Oh, right. I have my last thing on my list here. Hero points. Did you guys want to do 2 and then you guys help hand them out during the session, or did you guys want to do 1 and then get them every hour?
I'm kind of a fan of starting the game with 2,
Yeah.
personally.
And then cool shit happens and you hand them out?
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. We will stick with that unless anyone wants to speak against it.
I have no qualms.
Awesome.
Are we doing, I noticed on our sheet we have hero actions. Are we playing with hero actions?
Did you guys want to use those cards?
I
I-
mean,
I hear they're nice options to have, but they don't come up.
yeah, they don't come up, like, ever. So, like, if we want to use them, I mean, I think it's fine. I just don't expect them to use them often.
I mean, it's nice when like the day that session comes up and the one that does come up helps. It's pretty awesome. But other than that, they are barely ever brought up. So I'm fine with having them there. And then there'll be that one time when they do happen.
Yeah.
I just want a strict rule that they can't be traded because it just brings in like too much mess.
Yeah.
Like if you get something I really want, if I know I can't trade it, I'll just bite my tongue. You know.
Okay, they can't be traded then.
Everyone's draw their cards.
Draw your cards. Ooh. Do you pick one or do you get two?
You get both, and they're
Yeah,
just options you can use in place of a hero point.
Perfect.
Depending on how many hero points you have, when you click draw, that's how many you get.
And do they consume your hero points?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can spend it in lieu of a hero point. No, not in lieu. You can spend a hero point to use the hero action.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you use your hero point, and you only have one hero point, you have to discard a card as well. You only have the number of cards as you have hero points.
All right. I'm resting on you all to keep track of these because I sure won't. Sound good?
Yeah, no problem.
That's good. Yeah.
All right. Very well. Any other questions, concerns, or any last words before we start our campaign?
It's just like our final words, like you're gonna kill us once we get into game. Okay.
Are we gonna go over like how well we know each other in the game? Okay.
Yep. Like I said, I'll be giving you guys introductions. Or prompting you to give introductions.
But we're assuming everybody's like at least minimum acquaintances.
Yes, it's a town of 200. Everyone knows everyone somehow, or at least has heard of them. All right. Sounds like we are all ready to go.
Hell yeah.
Very well. In that case, this will be the end of the session 0. And we'll jump into it.